Welcome to another episode of Morning Movement with NATEFIT. If you are here, I applaud you for taking another step towards building a healthy habit of moving every day. Today we're going to go over hips, shoulders, and scapula. So we're going to start off in our hip car position, lying on our side. If you watched previous episodes, we've done this before. Going to start off by pulling our knee to our chest. This is hip flexion. We're going to get the hips nice and warm, and then we're going to focus on other movements of our hips and really get them stretched out today. Extension, dropping the knee down to midline, finishing knees together, and then we'll reverse that rep. Extension, abduction, external rotation, nice and slow through this. Flexion, return to midline, knees together. We're going to do 3 reps of this one. Flexion. Our hip cars are always a great way to get that tissue warmed up before we work it a little bit harder. And then reverse from here with extension, abduction, external rotation, flexion, adduction, knees together. If you'll notice, in a lot of these classes, we're going to do a lot of repeats, especially of our cars. Again, trying to get all of that tissue around our joints active. And then I'm going to slowly add in new and more complex exercises to improve the mobility of our joints. Excellent. We'll flip over to the other side. Hands clasped together. Again, this is going to be a counterbalance for when we go into extension so we don't tip over. We have flexion, abduction, internal rotation, pressing back into extension, down to adduction, knees together, and reverse. A big reason why we focus on our cars, it is the best way to maintain joint function and improve tissue health. This is the foundation of your physical routine. Again, this is something that we give to clients every day. We take all of their joints through their full range of motion. There is one thing that you could do. It is taking your joints through their full range of motion. Nice and slow. And we'll do one more. At any point in time, if you need to slow down or you want to do more reps, you can pause the video and get that extra work in. We're always going to try to keep the class to 15 minutes, so it's just a short habit that you can do every day. Next, we're going to work the adductors, the inside of the thighs. We're going to go into this position. Go as wide as you feel comfortable. Start off about here. Again, if you need to go a little bit more narrow, you can. I like to put my hands up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend one knee, keep the other leg straight. We're going to feel a nice good stretch in here. And we're going to come up nice and slow. And we're going to go to the other side. We're going to do 8 per side, 16 total. That's 2. Feel the stretch. Pause, try to keep that chest upright. This is 4. 5, feeling that stretch. 6. 7. 8. Lateral movement isn't something that we do a lot in daily activity, so it is very important that we add it to our routine. It's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 more. 15. And 16, good. Stand up, let's give those legs a little bit of a break. While we give the legs a break, we're gonna go to our shoulders. Again, this can be done standing. I'm gonna do it kneeling. We're going to take our arm, we'll make a fist, we'll point the bicep out. We're gonna come across the midline, nice and slow, up into flexion, coming away from midline as we start externally rotating, pointing that bicep down, internally rotating, coming around into extension and down to our side. Your bicep's going to be pointed towards you, and then we'll reverse. Nice and slow, we go to extension until we feel a restriction. Then we're going to externally rotate, pointing that bicep up, coming into flexion, across the midline, rotating that arm, trying to point that bicep up as we come across the midline and back down to our side. We're going to go again here. Across the midline, up into flexion, coming away from midline, internally rotating, around behind into extension, down to our sides. And reverse, extension, external rotation. For most people, they are really tight in their shoulders. We don't do a lot of overhead reaching in daily activity, and we never take our shoulders through a range of motion. So this one is something that you always want to resort to. Again, our major joints are our hips, our spine, our shoulders, and our shoulder blades, or our scapula. Those are daily cars that we want to make sure that we're getting in. And that's 3 reps. We'll go to the other side. Again, while you're doing this, really try to keep that elbow straight. You're going to want to bend it, especially as you go overhead. Our elbow is not part of the shoulder. We are trying to isolate our shoulder. And reverse, extension, external rotation, abduction, flexion, external rotation, down to our side. We'll do 2 more on this side. Nice and controlled. Excellent. And reverse. Again, a big cue for this one is we're just drawing a big circle with our hand as we add a rotational component. And reverse. Good. We're going to go back to the hips. For this one, we are going to go into a lunge position. How wide you go is completely up to you. If you can't get your knee to the ground, that is okay too. Just, again, stay within your capabilities. So we are here. If you have trouble balancing, just spread your feet apart horizontally. It will add to the balance. Keeping the chest up nice and high. I'm going to drop my knee down, extending the hip. Keeping the chest up nice and tall. I'm leaning into this back leg. We're going to do 5 reps. That's 1. Opening this up. 2. You'll see I'm leaning back as I come down. 3. For some people, you're really going to feel this in your knee. Stay within your capabilities. 4. Nice and controlled throughout the full range. And 5. We'll flip around to the other side. Again, if you need to take longer breaks, just pause the video. Going to the other side. 1, feel that stretch in that quad and hip flexor. 2. 3. In order to stay in hip extension, opening up this joint angle, you can squeeze your glute as well. 4. And 5. Excellent. Again, we're going to give the legs a break now. We will go to our scapula. Kneeling down, arms out in front. Again, your scapula, shoulder blades. We're just going to be drawing a big circle with our shoulder. So we're going to start off punching forward. It's protraction. elevation, shoulders up to the ears, retraction, squeezing back, and depression, dropping down. Again, protraction, elevation, retraction, depression. We're holding the previous movement as we perform the next. So I'm holding down into depression as I punch forward into protraction, elevation, retraction, depression. Now we're going to reverse with retraction first, elevation, protraction, depression. Retraction, elevation, protraction, depression. One more time here. Retraction, elevation, protraction, depression. Excellent. We're going to go back to our lateral lunge. If you need a little bit longer of a break, again, pause the video. This one, you might notice you can get a little bit wider. We've stretched out that tissue a little bit. Again, going nice and slow and really trying to feel that stretch. Chest up nice and tall. It's 1. We're going to go to 16. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Again, feeling that stretch. 12. 13. 3 more. 14. 15. And 16. Good. We're going to go back to our shoulder cars. 3 more reps. Again, this can be done standing. It can be done sitting in a chair. I'm going to be doing it kneeling. Bicep pointed out. Coming across the midline. Squeeze that fist. Create some tension. The more active we are while doing this, the better result we are going to get. The goal is to activate all of the tissue that connects to the joint. For any of you with a shoulder injury, this is something that you're going to want to be doing daily. And reverse. With your cars, you cannot do them too slow. So if you want to slow it down, the slower and more controlled you go, the better result you will get. And reverse. Good. We'll go to the other side. Make a fist, bicep pointed out. Coming across the midline. Excellent. Make sure that bicep's pointed out at the end. And reverse. One more here. Feel what's happening throughout that full range of motion. This is an opportunity to connect with your body. Good. Okay, we're going to go back to our lunges. Again, you'll notice you'll feel a little bit less tight, less pain in the knee. If you do have pain, coming up nice and tall, dropping the knee down, leaning back. It's 1. 2. 3. 4, and 5. Flip over to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Next, back to our scapula. We've got one more set of these. Arms out in front. Punch forward. Elevate. Squeeze back. Drop down. Protraction. Elevation. Retraction. Depression. Protraction. Elevation. Retraction. Depression. And reverse with retraction. Elevation. Protraction. Depression. Retraction. Elevation. Protraction. Depression. One more time. Retraction. Elevation. Protraction. And depression. Okay, and we're going to finish off with one more set of hip cars. Again, because we've stretched out the tissue in our hips, we want to upload that new range or information to the brain. So we do that by doing our cars. Back into this side lying position. I'll give you a second to get into position. From here, pulling the knee to the chest, opening up, trying to get as much range as possible, work within that new range, pressing back, dropping down to midline, knees together, and reverse, extension, abduction, external rotation, flexion, adduction, knees together, again, nice and controlled throughout the full range of motion. You'll notice every time you do this, it will get better and better. Your tissue will feel better. You will get more range of motion. You cannot do these too much. One more time. Excellent. We'll flip over to the other side. Flexion, abduction, point that knee to the ceiling, rotate that ankle beside the knee, press back, return to midline, knees together, and reverse. And again. Good. Reverse. One more time. And reverse. Excellent. That is another episode of Morning Mobility with NATEFIT. Congratulations, you are on your way to starting a habit. If you know of anybody that's in pain, know of somebody that needs to move more, has movement issues, please send them the link to a friend, a parent, an aunt, an uncle. Let's help as many people as we can build a habit of movement. Thanks for joining and thanks for prioritizing your health.